Welcome to Elevation Nation with your hosts Sam Panich and Parker Yablon. Elevation Nation is a community focused on bringing together young adults who are elevating themselves and others every day. Each Thursday, we take 15 minutes to talk about what's going on in the real world and touch on all the great things that Elevation Nation is up to.
What's happening, Elevation Nation and Sam? We are back after a week off. We had a busy June, and we had a well-deserved week off. Sam, I'm feeling a bit recharged and refreshed. Got massive sunburns on my back. Not good. But how you doing?
I'm great. It was a beautiful break. I was in Chicago for a bit. Got to see a lot of my old friends, coaches, teammates down at the old stomping grounds, teachers at Stevenson High School, home of the Patriots. Had a great time there for Jalen's charity skills camp. Came back to DC and it was crazy, man. There were fighter jets flying all around every few minutes, an absurdly large fireworks show. It was pretty cool. And now we're back. We're feeling refreshed. We're feeling good. Trying my best to get into the swing of things, but easier said than done, man. It's a slow start, but it's good to see your face. Probably the longest we've gone without talking to each other. Happy 4th. Welcome to summer. It's here.
It is here. The fireworks look great. Jalen's camp looked great as well. It's good to be back. I mean, I feel like after such a busy month, it's cool to finally get some time to just hang out. But for the purpose of this conversation today, I think it actually fits perfectly because we were so busy in the months leading up to June, and then June came, we had speaking, we were traveling, we were all over the place, we still were doing our day jobs, and then on top of everything else, we're still Sam and Parker. And then we got to the week where we had off, and we're like, okay, wait, we don't have all this stimulation. How are we going to spend our time? And I came across this video on TikTok, I sent it to you, of this guy explaining the concept of anhedonia, which I've never heard of before. It's a theory or a thought around the idea that you just can't feel pleasure. And it's a trend that people are talking about where people are trying to find ways to be able to sit in stillness and actually enjoy it instead of treating boredom like it's a problem to solve. Sam, do you think that this is like a skill that we've lost as humans? Like in your last week when you were doing nothing, like were you struggling to be bored and sitting in your own stillness?
I don't think it's a skill that humans have lost. I think it's one that we maybe never even noticed we had as a skill that we needed. I think a long time ago, we got bored, but it wasn't boredom. You were doing things to survive and live and prosper. And now things have gotten so easy that we just find ways to get instant dopamine hits. But no, Parker, I didn't do nothing. I did so many things the past week. Even when I was chilling, I was doing something. I was reading. I was out by the pool. I was swimming. I was barbecue, right? Like even our relaxation isn't real relaxation. In fact, I went through this yesterday, got invited spontaneously to go take a day trip to Annapolis, went out there for the day, and then got an invite to go to a crab bake at my friends Wyatt and Jen's house. And I was so tired. It was a Sunday. I didn't want to do it. I wanted to rest, but I just said yes, trying to say yes to more things. And I did not feel well rested this morning when I woke up. I got a horrible night's sleep, but I'm glad I said yes to make experiences and to make memories. And I think this is this trade-off that a lot of people have is, can I sit and get actual rest? Can I feel refilled by doing actual activities? where is that mix coming from? And I'm 30. I still don't think I've figured it out.
Well, I think that might be part of the conversation too, because the idea, the philosophy around anhedonia, such an interesting term, is that you just can't feel
Sounds
pleasure.
like a foreign country, by the way.
It does. It does. The idea is that you can't feel pleasure, and so you revert to other things like going on your phone, reading a book, filling your time up with different ways to get dopamine, right? I know you say it in our keynote, people would rather shock themselves than sit in their own thoughts for 15 minutes. I think this is a perfect example of this world that we're living in. And even when you were on break, you were still looking for ways to fill your time, to get that dopamine hit. And I know you, although you didn't have work with our jobs or Elevation Nation, I know you were trying to check off some boxes as well, probably in your personal life, maybe.
And for Elevation Nation, man. There's always time to be productive. I hate sitting. I'm bad at it. I'm bad at relaxing. But it's something I want to work on, something I think I need to improve. You have something in your research, Parker, that I think is a challenge that we both should do. And I think I'm going to make a little TikTok, Instagram about it. I'm just going to record myself for 10 minutes doing nothing, challenge myself. Because even when I meditate every morning for 10 minutes, I'm listening to positive affirmations. I'm not sitting in silence. Yeah. I have a guided meditation that I like to do. So I think that's a great challenge for us. I think that could be fun.
Pretty wild. Even last night, here's a good little story for you. We did a seafood broil, not your typical crab feast. We had like clams and oysters, and there were scallops and shrimp and crab legs, like big crab legs. And there were so many shrimp left over, like so many, over 120 shrimp probably. And everyone was like cleaning up, and JJ's parents like put the shrimp in a bucket, and they said, oh, like we can, like they were unpeeled. We can peel them tomorrow. And I was like, no, I want to kind of peel them now so I can make a shrimp salad. And everyone was like, it's going to take forever. Like, it's so boring. And I was like, honestly, like, I want to try it. And I sat there at the counter for 30 minutes peeling shrimp. And everyone was like, how are you doing? It's so boring. Like, don't you want to hang out? And I was like, honestly, for the 30 minutes, it was pretty peaceful. And there was like a meditation to that. Just sitting there, using my hands, peeling that shrimp, not really thinking about much. And it made me think that I don't need, to your point, like my phone to scroll or swipe or have to have a conversation. I can sit there and just peel some shrimp and get the gratitude of seeing one bowl get smaller as the other bowl fills up with peeled shrimp. And so I thought that was pretty cool. It was a nice little meditation.
Flow state, man. You were in a little Bubba Gump shrimp flow state, just doing your thing. I love that. I think that's a great.
But I think I think it goes to show we can find things in anywhere to like get away from the normal way that we get dopamine these days.
And that probably didn't give you dopamine, but it probably gave you serotonin. It calmed you down, chilled you out, let you turn off your brain a little bit and just flow. There's another point in here that I love, which is the difference between nothing and numbing. Right? I think we spend a lot of our time numbing ourselves. We talked about this with substances, Parker, with alcohol, numbing the feelings, going out of our bodies, not into our bodies. And instead, I think finding those activities that allow you to get into your body is beautiful. And yeah, we have certainly gotten worse at it over time. I think we have constant distractions in our pocket built with some of the most powerful and addictive dopamine hits beyond cocaine. You get to just feed your brain constantly, and that builds up a tolerance and a resistance over time. And so I think that's a very good example. I guess I wonder, Parker, we were, at camps the past couple weeks, and Joel was giving us of Camp IHC kind of a beautiful story around the first week or so when the kids get to camp. They don't have their phones, and you can tell which of the kids are kind of struggling, right? They're feeling socially anxious, they're uncomfortable, they're afraid, they're scared, they're not themselves. And he says by week 2 and beyond, you see their true self light up. And it's this detox from screen time, from our phones, that really empowers especially young people to be themselves and to come out as themselves as a true person. And I think that's a really cool, powerful thing about being in nature without screens, being with community. You can't really deal with the fact that you can distract yourself with a phone when you're bored. You can't. Maybe you can go play a game, you can talk to somebody, but that's really it.
It's kind of wild to think that there's places now for children to fully disconnect. I know a lot of schools around the country are banning phones. But yet as adults, we say, nah, like, we don't need to create spaces really for that, or where it's a place that we can go and have like it be socially acceptable to fully turn off for a long period of time. Can you imagine if you walked into a workplace and your boss told you, we don't use phones at our company, we don't use computers at our company? Do you think that would be more beneficial or more productive, or probably not good for business?
Yeah, it's just not the way things are done. I mean, I think you might be happier, you might enjoy your work more, enjoy what you do every day, but I don't think you'd be more productive. But is productivity the answer? Like, is that all we care about as humans? As businesses and capitalism, yes, but
I think to your point, when it comes to productivity and like creating, or manufacturing something, or, making sure you're using AI to do things faster, yeah, of course. Having no technology is not going to help you go faster. But I do think there is something there in the sense that from a creativity standpoint, if we're trying to think about ideas or put our brains together, I do think that there is an aspect, Sam, where if you really do disconnect from your phone, from the screens, from the computer, from AI, I actually think it could be more beneficial from a breakthrough standpoint if you're trying to come to an idea or in a realization or get on board with someone or a group of people. I think that is something that's really magical. And that's something that happens in camp where people are bonded together through just natural connection. And that's something that I think corporate world and business world is missing more maybe than ever.
Completely agree. So with that being said, Parker, are we making a pact? Are we going to do a 10-minute detox at some point this week? I think we have to.
Isn't that crazy? It's like, oh, we have to have a 10-minute detox to like not use any screens for 10 minutes. I feel like I've done that a couple times throughout the week. But to your point, even meditating, doing nothing is still doing something. How about just sitting there, eyes open, not doing anything for 10 minutes? That's more of the difficult challenge right there.
I like it. Let's give it a try. Parker, one more time, say that beautiful new word that we learned that is not a foreign country.
Anhedonia. I could be saying that completely wrong. You know that, right?
Someone on TikTok will let us know. Elevation Nation, get outside, get some fresh air, maybe stay off your phones. Don't be scared of finding the joys and pleasures in life. Don't get addicted to dopamine. And until next week, peace.
Thanks for tuning in to Elevation Nation. If you enjoyed our conversation, hit that subscribe button to get notified when we release a new episode. If you would like to join Elevation Nation or get more information about the nation, please visit our website at www.elevationnation.io. Until next week, Elevation Nation, peace.